Hello everyone, welcome to this session on cybersecurity. So today we are going to look at what are the different things that need to be taken care of while approaching a computer forensics investigation. Okay, so what are the different phases or steps involved in a computer forensics investigation are? So they are like this: securing the subject system, that is whether it is a mm, PC or laptop or a mobile phone or a hard disk or anything, and then take a copy of the hard drive or disk. Okay, so it will be a bit level copy, not a normal copy of the hard disk. It will be a bit by bit copy, and then identify and recover all the files that will be necessary to support the evidence. uh, Access, view, or copy hidden, protected, and temporary files. Um, so all of you know that some of the files will be hidden in the system. So those are also very important, which might include some clues um, that support as evidence. And study special areas on the drive like slack space, hidden space like that, and investigate the systems and investigate the settings and any data from programs on the system. So maybe the attacker is using some tools for for performing a cybercrime. So you have to um, look at those things also and consider the system from various perspectives. Of course, you have to think of the system from a attacker perspective, from an investigation point of view, or from the victim point of view, like that. And finally, create a detailed report about all the things that were being done. Okay. So the things that need to be avoided during forensics investigation are, so first one is changing date or timestamps of the files. So when you are performing the investigation and you are trying to gather evidence, that time if you are creating any new files or you are renaming the file name or changing the extension of the files, that time the date and timestamps of the files will be changed. Okay, and that will lead to um, uh, then the files cannot be used as a evidence. Okay, and that will make the evidence invalid. So another thing that need to be avoided is overriding unallocated space. So like formatting the disk or something like that will override the unallocated space. Um, okay, so and the things that should not be avoided during forensics investigation are you have to mandatorily have a contract called engagement contract, and you have to have another document called non-disclosure agreement. So these two are documents, and before going to an investigation, you have to have these both of these things. And some of the typical elements addressed in a forensics engagement contract. So what are there in the engagement contract? So it will have authorization from a particular entity and confidentiality measures, and of course the payment for the investigation, consent and acknowledgement that you can perform the investigation, and finally limitation of liability. Okay, and finally, what are the general steps that are involved in solving a computer forensics case? Okay, so let's start. So first one is preparing for the forensics examination, that is getting the necessary permission for gathering evidence, search warrants, etc. Then talk to key people about that case that the person is handling and what you are looking for. So maybe it involves talking with domain experts or your seniors like that, and then start assembling tools to collect the data and identify the target media. Of course, for performing the forensic analysis, you need special set of software, maybe as well as hardware. So you will try to gather them in this step. And then once you gather the tools, next one is collect the data from the target media. Okay, like gathering the hard disk or CDs, DVDs, etc. Next one is use a write blocking tool while performing imaging of the disk. Okay, I have already told you this point in one of the previous sessions. So whenever you are copying the evidence, you have to be very careful, such that you are not writing any new data onto the disk, which acts as a evidence. Okay, and check email records too while collecting evidence. Okay, so if the attacker is communicating with any other third parties or any other people like that, examine the collected evidence on the image that is created. So after collection, you will do the examination, and after the examination, you will analyze the evidence and finally report your findings to your client. So these are the basic steps that are involved in a computer forensics. So that's it about this. Thank you.